Greetings, Hearthstoners and Hearthstonettes. I am Mikey0, and I have one declaration to make. I love Zoo. And today we are living in a post-TGT world. Yep, the Grand Tournament has been released. I managed to get a few games in. Actually, quite a few games in. I've also ran into several different kinds of decks. Generally, this period of between expansions is absolutely bonkers. It's crazy. Everybody's trying different kinds of decks. They're trying to see if their crazy idea will get them to legend very quickly. It's just insanity, and probably one of the most fun times you can have in Hearthstone. So if you're not playing right now, jump in immediately. Just crack open some packs and get in there. Definitely, for sure. Alright, for starters, I'm going to talk a little bit about the kinds of decks I played this past day and a half, I guess, and what my impressions are of a few cards so far. So let's have a look at my collection here first. Now, very briefly, I'm gonna talk about this, my suicide deck. It's terrible. Before I even open it, I'm just gonna tell you it's terrible. But I actually wanted to test some things out, and what I really wanted to test out here were the discard mechanics, because as you know, probably know, I guess, there's a card here called Fist of Jaraxxus, which when you play it or discard it, it will deal 4 damage to a random enemy minion. No, generally a random enemy. Now, obviously, you don't want to just toss this out. You want it to be discarded. And this is why this card is actually very interesting, is because it relies on a discard mechanic, something that we haven't exactly seen in Hearthstone. We haven't seen any benefit come out of discarding. Now, there's another card that benefits from discarding, and that is the Tiny Knight of Evil, which is a really silly little minion. I actually love his quote when he comes in. It's really funny. But it says, whenever you discard a card, gain +1/+1. And this could have the potential to snowball really badly. And it had snowballed a couple of occasions for me when all the cards fell down right, when all the planets and the universe, everything aligned together, which didn't happen very often, obviously. So here's what I'm thinking about this suicide type of warlock, discard lock, whatever they're calling it, is we're not ready for it yet. It's a little bit like Beast Druid, because Beast Druid was not it was something that Blizzard tried to push in the previous expansions, but didn't actually pan out. But it seems like slowly they're getting more cards to build that beast synergy, so it might actually become a thing. It may be like a tier 2 or tier 3 deck. But right now, this discard lock thing, unless somebody makes it work, like really can make it work, I don't see it doing much right now. But definitely there's precedence now for making a discard sort of deck. So, but we just need more cards. We just need more cards that benefit from a discard mechanic, or don't make discarding that bad, because the biggest problem right now you will have is that you'll find that your hand just empties like that. It just goes away. Bye. And it's really hard to recover it. And you'll tell me now that, wait, Warlock has the hero power. It draws cards for life. But that's the thing, is that you have cards like Wrathguard that can take a lot of damage that is then directed into your face as well, and on top of you drawing, using your health to get cards and this and that, you're just losing health and cards really, really fast. Like, you just run out of resources way too fast. Now, it is possible to use things like Demon Fuse, Power Overwhelming, and other buffs to just ram a lot of damage into your opponent's face, but it needs that OTK quality, I think. It needs to be able to have some kind of OTK, some kind of combo that you can do in one turn to kill your opponent. Like, that's the best evaluation I can make. I'm still gonna monitor it a little bit. I'm gonna check into Reddit and wherever else to see if anybody else is trying to make a deck like this. But so far, it's clunky at best. And right now, as you can see, this isn't a very well thought out deck. As I said before, it's mostly for me to test out a few things. Now, moving on. What am I playing now these days? I got 2 TGT decks here I'm playing. The first one is, of course, a Zoo. And this is actually a pretty good deck. I mean, I went from, what was I last? I was rank 14. I went to rank 10 yesterday evening. I just sat there and played a bunch of games, and I actually wish I had recorded those. This deck is actually pretty good. And one of the things that surprised me, not as much, was this card over here, Gormok the Impaler. Now this card, many people said before that this is like a 4/4 for 4. That's not really very good. And yeah, if you want to check out the vanilla test, if you want to look at it that way, yeah, it's not really that good. But here's the thing. If you have at least 4 other minions, you can deal 4 damage wherever you want. You can direct that damage. Because Zoo is the way it is very likely that you will have 4 minions on the board. And 4 damage to direct it wherever you want is nothing to sneeze at. It's really powerful. And this card is able to swing tempo in your favor very, very effectively. And I think that it's a very good choice, a very good craft. If you are a Zoo player and you're thinking about something to craft right now to TGT, make this guy over here. He is pretty good, I'd say. Now, you're going to wonder why Lord Jirax is here, and I had that question on Reddit as well, and I can kind of see why it could be justified. It's because of this guy over here, the Wrathguard, which I feel, while it's a really good card, it actually could be a source of a lot of damage to your face. Because here's the deal. Whenever he takes damage, it also deals that to your face, alright? But that doesn't mean you're only going to take 3 damage. If, for example, a mage directs a Pyroblast to him, that 10 damage is also going to be dealt to you, and that is a hefty, hefty price to pay. So, keep in mind one thing, and this is a rule of thumb here. Do not taunt this guy. If you taunt him, you are going to eat a lot of damage, and that is not good at all. You don't want this guy eating a lot of damage. You want him just removed with just the right amount of damage. Like, if he just takes 3 damage and dies, that's fine. Maybe 4 is okay, but if you go over that starts to become a problem. Like, overkill starts to become an issue. So, you might as well not make him a 2-for-1 of sorts, like being him dead and you taking a bunch into the face. But it's a very good 2-drop. I mean, when he comes into the board, he can deal a lot of damage. He's oftentimes a 2-for-1. It's definitely a very good card to keep into your deck for sure. And of course, Dr. Boom. Sea Giant has been a staple in some Zoo decks for a while because of the amount of minions you have on the board, and it kind of makes sense. He's definitely a BGH target, but worth it. Bane of Doom now is pretty good. It's gotten a little bit better, I think, and you have the chance of drawing into some pretty good demons. And yeah, it's, removing a minion and getting a demon at the same time is pretty good. So this is the deck list I've been running. Try it out, check it out. I think it's pretty good. I'm still gonna monitor things, especially the Wrathguard and keeping Jiraxis in here. And yeah, I encourage you guys to give it a go if you play Zoo, and let me know what you think. And now, on to one of my biggest points of excitement, because I don't just love playing Zoo. I also love playing Shaman. And one of the things that I really wanted happen in this expansion was to see Shaman make a comeback, and make a good comeback. Because Shaman always had pretty good cards, like we said before, but they have been impeded by several mechanics like overload and a lot of RNG, especially RNG related to their hero power. So what is the thing here now is this is a deck that was created by Strifecrow, and I completely ripped it from Strifecrow, whom I have mad respect for as well. He makes really fun decks, and I think this list so far has been very fun. I've been playing it for the past few hours, and I'm just having a lot of fun. One of my best friends is also playing it. He's having a lot of fun with it. People are not really sure how to deal with it. Pretty good. Now let's dive into a couple of things. Let's start with this 2-drop over here, the Totem Golem. This, along with Wrathguard, are what I believe to be some of the best 2-drops right now from TGT. Probably two of the best cards introduced in TGT so far. Totem Golem is very often a 2-for-1, which kind of justifies the overload. And to be honest, when I saw overload on this card at first, I cringed. I felt like, oh my god, can you give us any more overload at this point? But then I played the card, and the overload is quite justified, because this thing will remove a lot of minions, and on top of that, it is a totem, which means that there's synergy with some other cards. Let's check those cards out. Thunderbluff Valiant. This card, in Strifecrow's words, this card does a lot on its own, which is really good. It's not as strong for a 5-drop, but the 6 health is solid. I mean, you can't just outright remove it with a spell that easily. It will have to be a fireball. It will have to be execute if it's damaged. Like, it will take a lot to remove this guy. The Inspire, even though you might want to drop him at turn 7 instead of turn 5, the Inspire effect has a very huge impact on the board if you have a totem or two on board. And imagine if you've got this guy. I mean, that's insane. He will get +2 attack like that, and this stacks on all of your totems. If they stay alive and you hit that Inspire one more time, it will get 2 more damage, 2 more attack. It's ridiculous. Tuskar Totemic, this guy here is gonna probably be in accordance to other people and what I think as well. It's definitely gonna be a staple in Shaman decks, no questions asked. This card has a lot of value, and the thing is, after thinking about it a lot, I realized that a lot of the totems that exist are actually good totems. They're the kind of totems you want on the board. I can't think of too many totems that you don't want, unless you're in a very specific situation, which in that case, Tuskar Totemic is not that great. But if you drop this guy, the totem you're going to get is oftentimes going to be good. And the biggest thing is that you could get this guy. Now, I swear to God, last night I was playing the Zoo deck, and whenever I faced the Shaman, every time this guy would drop, he would give me this. He would bring this to the board, and I would not be very happy. But he's a good card. He's a very good card, and definitely a card that is going to stick around for a while. And then we got Draenei Totem Carver. This card is still going to be evaluated. For now, I play her quite cautiously. I try not to get her above a 6/6, which, you know, unless my opponent has used their BGH or whatever hard removal they have, I will probably, you know, be a little more careful with that. But even if you do bring her in as a 6/6, that's a lot of value. And it just kind of, you know, feels like it completes that totem synergy that we want in this case. Now on to this hotly debated card. This is a card that Trump said was outright bad because of its 2 overload, but there are other people who are saying that it's actually very good. And it's the kind of card draw that we, Shaman, need right now. Shaman absolutely needs card draw. And this card, I think, really fills in that role. It does a good job of it. Don't look at the overload, too. This card is not meant to be played in the same way that, what's it called? Arcane Brilliance, was it? Yeah, Arcane Brilliance is played. The mage card draw. This is meant to be played way later because of this overload. And when you do play it, you start drawing from your library. You're going to actually start getting things that you need. It's been a pretty good card. I mean, I have no complaints. I'm actually thinking of putting a second one in. We'll see. I mean, for now, like I said, it's more of a late game card, so maybe the second one is not as justified. Vitality Totem, some people are not running this. Strifecrow is, and so far I can see why. But I personally am feeling a bit more like using Healing Wave. It's this one over here to restore 7 health, and if it wins a joust, it gives you back 14. I think this might actually be a better card because that's a lot of healing, and one of the reasons that you want healing is to be able to deal with aggro, which does a lot of damage to you. Can you imagine doing 14 heal on a face hunter who has just dumped their entire hand into your face? They're not gonna like that a lot, are they? So anyway, this is the deck that, or some form of this deck that people have been running right now on ladder, and they've been having a lot of success with. I'm gonna definitely play this after I record this session, but if you want to check out a Shaman deck, if you've been looking for a Shaman deck to play, try this puppy out. It's pretty good. Okay, so overall my impressions of TGT have been pretty... it's pretty interesting to see how people have gotten really creative with this expansion. I have a couple of other classes that have actually caught my attention. About Priest, first of all, they seem to have some really good dragon synergy. And with this new Twilight Guardian, which I don't really have yet in my collection, but let's look at it nonetheless. Twilight Guardian, Battlecry, if you're holding a dragon, gain +1 attack and taunt. This card is actually, like everybody's saying, is that, you know, connecting 4-drop point that dragons have been needing right now. And, okay, they're able to fill in that void because they have Twilight Whelp. And Twilight Whelp is a pretty nice 1-drop if you have a dragon in hand. So if you're running a dragon deck, it's actually pretty good. I mean, I had trouble fighting them with both my Zoo and my Strife Crow Shaman deck and my Suicide deck. So also another class so far that's impressing me a little bit is Paladin. And one thing I have to say about Paladin is fear this card. I mean, this guy, the Warhorse Trainer, if there are Silverhand recruits on the board because of this card here, because of Muster for Battle, the board starts becoming a little troublesome and worrisome. Like, they can at least remove a lot of stuff off the board. So, Paladin might need to either we're going to have to use early board clears. That's what I've been considering with my Shaman deck, is to keeping a Lightning Storm. But yeah, we'll have to see, because it's just +1 attack. It may not be that much, but if you leave those Silverhand recruits on the board, it might get a little dangerous. So anyway, so far, these are the things that I've checked out. These are the things that have impressed me the most. So, I guess, without further ado, let's play some Zoo. Okay, Paladin. You might see what I was talking about earlier. Okay. Not a big fan of always running the Ruby and Egg as my 2-drop, but I have seen Paladins with these Warhorse Trainer decks. They're running Consecration, so we're gonna need this guy. All right.
Done.
Wow. Okay, that's new for me.
Reporting for duty. Mount up.
There we go.
Put this apple on your head.
Job done.
We're doing that because generally we don't run board clears in this particular deck, so why would we? We're Zoo. I think that this is better suited as a way to not... I don't know if it works as an aggro. I mean, we'll have to see what happens here. Oh, there we go. pretty good that we got this, and we can get our Doomguard out earlier, unless we get silenced. I'm pretty confident in my position right now because I've got Defender of Argus in case he drops something like that. I have Doomguard if that gets killed. All right, we can draw.
My shield for Argus.
I want to get rid of him. Plenty of demons to go around.
I'll show them. I'll show them all.
Reporting for duty.
All the secrets. This guy, I don't even understand this card, but yeah, it could even destroy itself. That's one of the bigger points that I don't get about this card. Like if it can destroy itself, then the stats are bad for its cost. It's just not a good card.
For duty.
This is not good. Oh man. Oh man. 9, 13, 17.
Well played.
I need an Argus. I can't have an Argus. Well played. If I had dropped the Flame Imp, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Did my best.
Gul'dan versus Uther.
I will fight with honor.
Your soul shall be mine.
These don't really do anything now in the beginning. I need some early minions.
The light protects me.
Why do you fall?
I'd rather just curve out nicely by first putting this guy, then using the coin
The light
if I need
protects
to
me.
use Mortal Coil.
I'll never tell.
This is... Huh. Welcome, Wrathguard. Okay.
Wreck this. As you command.
I'm pretty sure he's running a bunch of secrets, so I don't want that to snowball too much. Mount up. Well, I'm gonna go for value here because the 4 health and yeah.
Feel my pain.
Start removing some of these guys.
Put this apple on your head.
At least he doesn't get to keep. I wonder if it's gonna be worth running.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
I wonder if it's gonna be worth running. What's it called? Blood Knight. What if it's gonna be worth running Blood Knight? Now with all of these paladins in there. And their silliness. Huh. I feel like I'm gonna need Argus a little later. What I could do is power overwhelming the egg, remove his Argent Squire, and also bring in my Imp Gang boss. I think I'll do that. I like that better.
Shields off. Red alert.
Reporting for duty. My shield for Argus!
Fine. Gosh.
Get down!
Noble Sacrifice is making a comeback. I want to remove his shield. It's very likely that I'm gonna have 4 minions left so I can play Gormok.
Not unreliable. Into the breach!
A paltry.
I don't wanna tap anymore. To be honest, I don't know exactly what he has for reach, how much reach he has. It's nuts. Okay.
Reporting for duty.
A paltry task. Job's done.
Oh god.
Reporting for duty.
I think this is a turn for Jiraxis.
You face Jaraxxus, Eladar Lord of the Burning Legion! A paltry task.
I love this guy. I just love him.
Reporting for duty.
Okay.
Inferno! Why do you call? From the void I come.
Reporting for duty.
Okay, man, sure. All the secrets. That's fine with me.
A paltry task. Inferno! To the void.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just want to ram things in his face right now.
The victory is yours.
Yeah! I mean, it's so annoying. He's got, like, secret after secret, removal after removal. It's like, come on, let's get this over with.
Gul'dan versus Uther.
I will fight with honor.
Your soul shall be mine.
Paladin number 3. Okay. We kind of need that early board. I don't know. I'm not feeling the IG boss on this one now. Yeah. Nah. This is more to my liking. Honestly, I feel like if I'm not in control of the board with these decks...
Well played.
Whoops.
I greet you.
Whoopsie.
Well played.
Funny guy. Yeah.
Shields up. Red alert.
Oh god. Egg time. I'm pretty sure you're all saying now, you didn't want the IG boss there. Oh dear god. This is not, this is... Look, you removed it. Okay.
Yeah! Stop yelling! I'll yell as much as I want!
Jesus. Get a grip, IG.
Put this apple on your head. There it turns.
Reporting for duty.
Oh god, this is
Reporting
rough.
for duty. Reporting for duty.
Okay.
Will regret this.
Mount up. 2 arms, man.
Is this the fishing tournament?
Oh, snap! Buddy knows I have Jiraxis. I'd rather go for the value here. YOLO!
That was a mistake. Reporting for duty.
Sorry. Oy vey.
Reporting for duty.
Methinks time to use this. And it just had to be that one, right? Okay. Now we're doing something.
Reporting for duty.
This makes me wonder, is Paladin, Murloc Paladin gonna be a thing?
Who dares summon me?
Time for some YOLO.
My shield for Argon.
How paltry.
Reporting for duty. To arms, men.
I knew that was hiding somewhere. Doubtful.
Well played.
If you enjoyed the games, please subscribe and like, and I'm gonna see you next time.